Meanwhile, Eskom has announced a number of power outages across KwaZulu-Natal following inclement weather. And despite weather-related events, Eskom had previously announced confidence in the readiness for the cold snap. Joining us now for more is Eskom spokesperson Daphne Mokoena. Daphne, a very good evening and thank you for joining us at this hour. Perhaps in lieu of what's obviously transpired, given the extreme weather patterns that have been recorded. Talk to us about the grid and the current stability of the grid during these extreme weather patterns, as well as winter months at large.
Yeah, good evening and good evening to your viewers as well. Yes, the system is still stable as we announced on Friday. Every Friday we do announce a power alert just to inform the public of where we are in terms of the power system. And currently it is, even though it is cold and the demand has gone or shot to your 13,000, today we registered about 30,330 megawatts peak at evening peak, but we still have our system being resilient. And where we do occasionally see the system being constrained, we are using our emergency or deploying our emergency reserves to cater for the high demand during peak or morning peak. But currently, as we on the 5th as well have published that in this winter, we will have no load shedding unless if we exceed 13,000 megawatts of unplanned outages. And if these outages or unplanned outages rise to 15,000 megawatts, we will implement load shedding and will restrict it to stage 2. So currently, as I said, the system is stable and we are managing it accordingly. However, maybe I just need to add as well that, you know, those customers that are experiencing outages, they need to inform or report those outages, but we're quite aware of areas that are hit by the inclement weather, like your KZN province and your Eastern Cape, because we've got a lot of customers that are being affected. I think during around 4 o'clock in KZN, we had about close to 200,000 customers affected by different outages that our teams are working hard to ensure that they restore. Although similarly in Eastern Cape, we've got about 300, or since last night, we had about 300,000 customers that were affected. But our teams, as I said, are working very hard to ensure that these customers are power supply is restored. However, in other areas, we do have issues in terms of accessing the areas so that we can, you know, restore supply, but we working with different sectors to ensure that this becomes easier for our technicians.
All right, Daphne, you really have spoken to all the questions at hand. I think just in lieu of time and to unpack, you know, where to from here. Obviously, now outlining Eskom's long-term winter preparedness measures as well. Talk to us about how households then can help to reduce pressure on the grid, especially in winter. You've also issued load reduction notices during, you know, peak times. How has that been heeded? What more can people do?
Yeah, you see, with load reduction, because that has nothing to do with the capacity that we have or that we generate. And normally we actually implement load reduction because we are basically protecting our infrastructure from being damaged. For an example, in winter especially, we do see most of our transformers exploding, and this is because of the overloading network, or these infrastructure being overloading. So what we urge the public to do is to those that have illegally or breached their meters, basically to stop that and regularize their meters, and those that have breached or buying from illegal vendors to stop that and buy from Eskom vendors or registered vendors. So, and obviously in areas where we're seeing this overloading, customers are urged as well, probably to use alternative heating appliances like your gas or LPG gas or other form of blankets, other form of heating, other than consuming more energy, because that then leads to load reduction, and this happens during morning and evening peaks, and especially in Gauteng, that's where we are seeing these overloads, followed by KZN, and I'm just going to name the top 3, and Limpopo.
Well, Daphne, thank you for that reassurance. Of course, we will continue to monitor developments as the days progress in winter, but we'll leave our conversation there for now. Eskom spokesperson Daphne Mokoena answering some pertinent questions there about Eskom and the stability of the grid, of course, during these extreme weather patterns and winter season that we are currently in as a country there.